Games coming your way as well. We bring back Andy Katz to talk about some of those right now. And let's start with Washington taking on Illinois. Great chance for the Huskies to get a big win. It would be enormous for them. Top 10 ranked Illinois. The problem is Keaton Wagler's still going to wear orange and blue.
Yes.
And that's going to be bad for Washington.
Now, Brad Underwood told me yesterday that he knew, and they all knew this summer. Maybe they didn't know he was going to score 46, but they knew he was this good because he flew under that radar. He's arguably one of the top freshmen in the country in a historically good freshman class across the country. Also, keep in mind, no Kylan Boswell. So they win at Purdue without Boswell. Wagler goes for 46. This is the game after Stojakovic had 30. So they've had big-time scores of late for Illinois. And also, by the way, Merkovich, the other freshman for Illinois, he had a really good game against Purdue, so he had a dozen. So if these freshmen can continue to play like this, especially without Boswell, that's good news for Illinois because after this game, which they can't look ahead, they go to Nebraska this weekend. So a lot of big games. Their next road game after that's at Michigan State. As for the Huskies, it's unfortunate. They've never been healthy. Right. If they were healthy, I'm telling you, they would have been an upper half team that would have been competing for an NCAA tournament berth. They haven't been. Claude's done for the year, Desmond Claude. Wesley Yates finally came back. He's still not himself. Right. Lathan Somerville, remember him, transferred from Rutgers.
Sure. Barely heard his name all year.
Because he hasn't been playing.
That's correct.
Hannes Steinbach, obviously one of the better freshmen in the country. He needs help. Frank Kepnang, he has been sort of an anchor for them, but he's had to carry a lot of the load, former Oregon transfer. So they're going to need Steinbach and Kepnang to really sort of cause problems for Illinois inside. And, this is a tall task for the Huskies.
I want to go back to Illinois for a second. They've been so impressive. Their last loss was December 13th. They've won every game since then. You pointed out the Purdue win. They didn't just beat Purdue. They beat a really good Purdue team. Now, granted, it's a 3-game losing streak for them.
At Mackey.
But that's my point. It was one of the toughest arenas in the country to win at, and they beat them, and they did it without Kylan Boswell. We've been around Kylan Boswell a lot. He's really important to that team. He's not just sometimes a guy who can drop 15 or 20 points. He does a ton of little things during a game for them.
Well, I think the bigger loss that everyone assumed, rightly or wrongly, was that it was going to hurt them more defensively, especially against Braden Smith. Braden Smith sort of got his, but Purdue did not get the necessary play, and especially defensively, from everyone else. And then we see what happened when they went down to Indiana. Yeah, look, this Illinois team, by the way, that loss you're talking about was a buzzer beater to Nebraska at home. So really, you got to go back to maybe the UConn game, to a game that they were sort of outplayed down the stretch, if you will. I mean, they still played well, but they've been playing really good basketball for a long time. They also have that win over Texas Tech at home. We've seen how good Texas Tech is, in the Big 12. They're a national title contender. So I do believe that once Boswell comes back, Illinois, not just in the Big Ten, but I think around the country, they might have one of the best, growth, patterns of anyone. I mean, they really can continue to get better over the course of the season. And, they're trending toward a top 4-line seed. And what does that mean? That means they could be playing in St. Louis potentially.
Right.
First 2 rounds, which would certainly be advantageous. And who knows, if they end up in Chicago, look out.
Yeah, easy travel for Illini fans to both of those.
If it happens.
Cities. Yeah, a long way to go.
Yes.
I mean, we still got a ton of season left.
Yes.
But I get your point with that. Is this the matchup of the 2 best freshmen in the Big Ten with Wagler and Steinbach going head-to-head?
Yes. Yeah, no question. I mean, these are the 2 best freshmen in – it's weird. As good as the Big Ten has been, they don't have the depth that a lot of the other leagues like the Big 12 have in terms of freshmen. But, yeah, Wagler and Steinbach, I would say, are the 2 best freshmen. And probably, throw in Bennett Sturtz, not a freshman, but probably 2 of the top 3 players in terms of draft picks potentially out of the Big Ten.
Yeah, which is just a crazy story that Wagler has done this. And yeah, Underwood saw it, but I don't know if he saw this.
Yes,
because he's the type of guy who can see talent where it may not necessarily be seen by everybody else. But this has been something else from Wagler. The most points any visitor has ever scored at Mackey in the history of that building. Amazing. Before that game, an hour before, Penn State takes on Northwestern. These are 2 programs who both need things to turn around. Northwestern 2 games ago beat USC on the road, but that was their first conference win of the season.
And look, they played well against UCLA. I mean, just not able to close it out. Nick Martinelli, unfortunately, is getting way overshadowed because of the record, but he's had an all Big Ten season. He's lived up to his hype, being a 20-plus point per game scorer. It's just the supporting cast has not been consistent. They've been in a lot of games, but not able to sort of finish them out. I mean, this is the kind of game, I think, for confidence, they got to get. They got to get at home. They've got some good home games coming up. You want my schedule? I'll be in a couple of those because they've got Michigan coming in.
Yeah.
They got Purdue coming in. So they could be a spoiler in the Big Ten title race. No question about it if their home court can be what it's been the last couple of years. And when it's rocking there at Welsh Ryan, it is one of the better home courts.
Yep.
Penn State, winless right now. Caden Mingo was hurt for a while, came back, but had 8 assists and 4 turnovers in that Ohio State game, so those numbers have to be a little bit better. They did play very well against Ohio State in the second half because they were outscored 50 they were down 18, and then outscored Ohio State by 12 in the second. Eli Rice had a really good game. So if they can carry the way they played in the second half on the road in Evanston, then we'll see what happens tonight.
Nick Martinelli statistically is good enough to be a first-team All-Big Ten player. Is his team's record going to prevent that from happening?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in winning, that winning matters for the first team. Now, if we're going 10 players, that's different. But if you're going to pick 5,
Just 5, right?
I think it's hard to pick someone who's, on a team that finishes in the bottom 2.
Yeah.
We'll see. As you said, still a lot of basketball left to be played.
A ton. And there's a ton of guys who'd be fighting for that spot.
Yes.
I mean, you could get someone like a John Blackwell who might be on.
Keaton Wagler originally wasn't even considered that. Now he's a Player of the Year candidate.
Right. He's going to have to be.
He has to be on that 5.
First team. And Jeremy Fears is going to be on it. And Yaxel Lendeborg's going to be on it. And all of a sudden you're running out of spots, even
How
though.
about Morez Johnson, what he's done for Michigan?
Right.
He's an all Big Ten player.
But it is weird to think the leader
Price Sanford
in scoring in the Big Ten might not be on it.
They're counting us down. We could just rattle so many more players off.
Would you like to say your schedule one more time?
Be here tonight, Thursday night.